What's up, Carla?
What's up, Chris? How you doing?
I'm doing well, except as you already know, the tech has gotten the better of me this morning. Uh, my mouse is dead, and as I was talking to you this morning, um, Apple is well known for their engineering genius. And I'll tell you, we're never going to get Apple as a sponsor because I'm about to throw shade.
That's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
understand why they put the plug for the mouse on the
Oh,
bottom of it, because when I plug it in, I can't use it. I mean, this is some
come
deep
on, Apple.
conversation we're having here.
Get it together, Apple.
you know and I had this slide deck all ready to talk about because I was going to teach people how they could get notifications
Mm,
for with screen grabs. I was going to say, if you want to find out when we're going live on YouTube, there's a bell that you press on YouTube, and I had a visual to show.
okay.
Right on Facebook, if you were to visit Big Picture's page, there's 3 little dots that you can click next to our icon. And if you click that, you get another screen that says get notifications for when Big Picture's going live. So I was going to talk about that. And then I was also going to talk about on Twitter how right next to someone's avatar, there's another place to get notifications. So you would always know. You would always get an alert on your phone that says Big Picture has just gone live. I was prepared.
What
Except for the fact that I did not charge my mouse.
there you go. I guess you're definitely weren't prepared on that end. But we'll definitely come back to that, right? We'll show that.
We'll come back. I'll show folks how to do this, but I do want people to know that we are live every Monday and every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Carla and I sometimes in our offices, but Carla, we also just talked about increasingly you're going to be on the road.
Yes,
What are
I
some of
will.
the places that you're going to be in the near future?
I will be in Costa Rica next week. I will be in Kansas City for Amplify in 2.5 weeks. And I'll be in San Diego for an Ashe Fellows convening. So hopefully we'll have some really cool broadcasts that are out in the field, not in my living room.
Or in
And
my
with special guests.
back shed.
There you
We
go.
can talk about that on a different date as well, right? Anyway, we have some very special guests today. A colleague of ours, Sun Sam, is here, as well as a former Big Picture student, Manel, who we're going to introduce shortly. Because I'm gonna go ahead and give away the plot line. We have a webinar series that starts this Thursday on building anti-racist communities, and Manel and Sun and Manel's colleague Addie, might be Allie, from the Vermont Anti-Racist Student Network are going to be putting on our very first of a 3-part series about building anti-racist communities. We're really excited for that. Without further ado, can we bring them in, Carla?
Yes, we will bring them in. Ooh, we're gonna mute Manel's
We got
mic.
Sun here. We've got Manel here. Sun.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Sun, first of all, tell us who you are for people who may not know.
What's up, everybody? Regional Director for Big Picture. Been riding out with Big Picture and Student-Centered Learning for 18 years now. This is my family, my life's work, and I'm proud to be here with y'all this morning. Thank you for having us.
I mean, we're very happy to have you here as well. And then we also have Manel Sarfo Adu. Manel, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, but can you please introduce yourself as well?
I don't know if they'll be able to.
I may not be the only one with the tech issues today, and that's okay. Carla, you and I know, even though we're only in our second week, getting guests queued up for this thing has been a fun challenge. If we need to bring Manel back for a future episode, we certainly will.
Yeah.
Manel, I don't know what your experience on your end, but we're getting some static, so might kick you to a future episode.
Yeah, it's good.
Sun, but please,
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the series that starts on Thursday, and tell us why you think it's important to have the conversations that we're going to start having?
For sure. I think, just channeling the spirit of all our local and national activists that put their heads down every single day and do the good work and do the necessary work and get into good trouble, as our late great Congressman Lewis, aspires us to do. It's in their spirit and their work and honoring them that we continue to sort of talk about the incredible work that's happening right now. because of politics. They did their job. They made it a hot topic item and made it very divisive. And so folks are feeling a little hesitant to have this conversation. But in all honesty, having courageous conversations about race and racism is part of all our responsibility. So I was just really inspired by a lot of work by young people, by educators, by leaders in our sector and outside of our sector that are doing really great work. So I just want to shine light on them, man. And hopefully they can inspire other people, but also give them practical stuff that they can implement in their world and their lives right away.
Nice. Carla, do you have the ability to share my screen? Do you see it down there?
Let me see. Yes.
So, son, I wanted to share something that I'm inspired by. Manel was actually featured in an article from Vermont Public Radio about a little less than a year ago. And among several other things she said in that article, I think she first conceded maybe she's not the right person to have these conversations, and then very quickly corrected herself. Maybe I'm not young. Maybe I'm the perfect age to be speaking.
That's right.
Is there a reason why we're queuing up the first webinar to be hosted by young people like Manel?
Young people always lead the way, man. If we honor them and pay attention, they always lead the way. Yes, they need coaching. Yes, they need guidance, but their spirit is and their authenticity is always there. We just got to give them light to that and support them. So Manel speaks nothing but truth and authenticity. So when she says she's the perfect age, she is just like every other young person. So we've got to give power to truth, and we've got to give power to young people.
Carla, I mean, you're my colleague here at Big Picture, but you've come from a big picture school. I know, because you and I have had enough conversations, that as a young people, you've never feared using your voice. Can you talk about when you knew it was okay to be the age you were and speaking out?
Yes. I in thinking about this question, I go back to, I think I was like 8 or 10 years old. And my grandfather was really trying to impose these like gender expectations on me. And he was like, you need to go clean the backyard. And I was like, why aren't you asking my brother? And there's already this cultural, like, don't speak to elders. But there's something about me that I was like, no, like, it's wrong. It feels wrong. And so I'm going to stand up, if in a way. So I knew early on that my voice was something that I could use to defend myself or to speak up against something around 8 or 10. And ever since then, I've just been confident to do so when I feel I need to and when I feel like it's right.
Son, I'm gonna try to get you to channel Manel a little bit, because I think one of the things that she's gonna talk about on Thursday is the Color of Law project. Right. So Manel actually presented at our last Big Bang, and I remember her speaking about the Color of Law project. But do you know enough about that work to kind of tee it up a little bit for folks that might be thinking about coming on Thursday?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. It's really young people being really inspired. So the Color of Law book, the Color of Law project, is a book that they pretty much read. And from it really stemmed a lot of mobilizing on their part. What this is really about is redlining and housing in Vermont, and the sort of racist practices that were happening. And that was an angle with which, anti-racist work hits multiple levels. For them, it was housing. And it's also a little bit more personal, but I'll let Manel tell her story with regards to the housing piece that really stood out to her. And she'll share a little bit about her story. So this is much deeper than anyone could ever imagine. But then it evolved into the Color of Law project, where they deeply researched the inequities with housing in Vermont, studied that, gave the numbers, and really brought that to light. And now they developed some lesson plans to educate young people across Vermont and really across the US, because those lessons that they created are applicable in any single classroom. So what they're trying to do is just really mobilize around that to get young people to understand that this specific area of anti-racist work around housing, they're trying to bring awareness around it and getting young people to act on it and hopefully join the network as well.
I'll tell you, one of the reasons I'm really interested in Thursday's conversation is because I think when we think about building anti-racist communities, we often think, well, the work to be done is broadly speaking, in the Deep South,
Mm-hmm.
right? Places where
Mhm.
we constantly look and where these issues have sort of become most vocal in our nation's history. And to know that this also occurs in Vermont, in Idaho, in Washington, and Oregon, right? It really, I think, speaks to the need to have this as a larger national conversation, not just a regional conversation.
Absolutely.
Son, last question for you. The conversation on Thursday with Manel is only the first of 3 that we'll be having between now and December. Can you tee up a
Yes.
little bit about what we can expect to learn in the second and the third webinars?
Bottom line is there's a bunch of brave practitioners, common folk, students, teachers, principals, superintendents that are doing really good work. Bottom line is we want to lift them up and put some spotlight on their work and share people and give them concrete tools so they can continue to do the work in their community. So the next 2 series, so students leading the way, that's our first one. Second one, we're going to have our educators on the ground, so principals and teachers. And our last one is really around our superintendent, around systemic level, district level work around anti-racism. So hopefully folks will be inspired, but more importantly, you can leave with something very practical that you can implement right away.
That series kicks off this Thursday at noon Eastern time. If you want more information on the series and want to register, not only for this Thursday, but the next 2 as well, the website that's on the screen right now is a bit.ly/building AR communities. It is cap sensitive, so the B, the A, the R, and the C should be capitalized, but check it out, register. Son, thank you for joining us. Manel, you're in the green room right now. Thank you for joining us today as well. Sorry the tech didn't work out, but we'll get you back. Thank you, folks. We got some viewership today, Carla.
I know, yes.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Please spread word amongst your colleagues, your advisories, however you're watching this, that we'd love to have you live, but you can always watch it after the fact by visiting a playlist on our YouTube channel. So go ahead, Carla.
Oh, and you can interact with us. So if you comment on whatever platform you're watching it live, we get to see those comments. So please, if you have any questions, if you want to, send us some praise, we'd love to see it.
All right, we'll see you on Thursday. I don't have a catchphrase to go out on yet. I'm going to continue working on it. But for now, we'll see you Thursday. Thanks for coming today.
See y'all.